The next one we want to bring up, we've been kind of talking about, and that's why he's tying his shoe.
I'm putting my shoes back on.
Do you take your shoes off when you go into someone else's house? And if you're one of those places that you ask people to take your shoes off in their house, how do you go about doing it? And she's been waiting to talk to you about that. But the story comes from a professor in Houston tested the shoes of homes and his own students of their friends. He mostly found harmless germs, but he did find a type of bacteria that's called the C. diff that actually could harm sick or an elderly person. That means you should clean or remove your shoes before visiting a vulnerable person. So, going back to that, how do you do it, Michelle, since you've got all this built-up energy?
Right. You ready
go to
to go?
someone's house.
She goes,
Let me
wind her
tell
up.
you. So my husband said, "Why do you have socks in your car?" This was this morning, and I said, "Because you always need extra socks." That is what I do. I carry socks with me all the time. Second of all, I have house shoes so that when people come over, they can slip into house shoes.
Okay, so hold on.
That's smart, because not everybody has that. That's part of the reason why I don't want to take off my shoes. Because I don't know what's on that ground, and my toes may not be
Because,
down.
well, this is a, first of all, it's a Korean thing, I mean an Asian thing, but in Korea, for example, you get those little like $2 shoes, and then you leave your shoes at the door, and then you pick up a little, like those little $2 slippers.
I know what you're talking about. They're kind of
And-
sparkly on the top.
Oh, well, they don't have to be,
Oh, okay.
but they
Well,
can.
the sandals, right? Which is
The
the ones that
sandals,
my
yes.
daughter has those. I told her
They're
these are house
flimsy.
shoes. She didn't know what they are, but she loves them.
Yes, and you know what? They do that at schools. They do
Right.
that at hospitals. They do it everywhere.
In Asian culture, you're saying. They do it
Yeah,
everywhere.
that's why I love. I mean, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like that's why the floors are always clean.
There you go.
So you keep
does
extra
make
socks for when you wear like sandals.
Like right now, I'm wearing sandals, and so I have socks in my car. So if I go to someone else's house,
You're
then
ready.
I have my socks.
And you don't want to take off your shoes because you don't know what's on the ground. But if you had socks, would you be okay with it?
and my toes
You
may
need
not
an
be
extra
done.
pair
I
of
mean, there's just so many reasons, right?
All right, I see.
I will say though, it is, it seems silly, but there's a lot of germs we don't see that are pretty
It's
wicked. Once upon a
true.
time, I did an actual infomercial. It never went to air, thank goodness. It's like the ones you see every weekend. Has this ever happened to you? And it was for a cleaning product for your tech devices, the phones and things we're carrying around.
done one of those.
So I had to go to the mall and test people's phones. You wouldn't believe the horrors
E. coli.
that I would find on people's phones. I would swab the garbage can and then swab Joe Schmo's phone, who would be walking by, and it would be 3 and 4 times as dirty as the garbage can at the mall that you hold up to your face. So I think there's something to it. If you ask me to take my shoes off now, I might go for it. Might happen.
Extra socks, everybody.
All right.
That's a good idea.
That's
Pack some
smart.
extra
That's smart.
socks.
That'll avoid everything.
You're gonna have to